In 1998, an American man bought an island for approximate $8 million. The island in the picture is located on about 75 acres. The name of this island is Little St. James. From the outside, this island was no less than a paradise. It had beautiful beaches and greenery everywhere. In the middle of this island was a palace-like bungalow. There were guest rooms all around, but there was a dark truth hidden in this paradise-like island, a truth that caused the people living nearby to call this island a pedophile island. Here, girls between the ages of 12 and 17 were trafficked and raped. These girls couldn't even run away from here because there was an ocean all around them. A few days ago, some of the Epstein Files came to light, which contained something that would make anyone's soul tremble after seeing it. This has come to light in these files. That if any of the young girls who were raped got pregnant, then in order to erase the evidence, a dangerous experiment was performed on these girls, which will blow your mind after hearing. You will know what those experiments were in this video, and we will also show you some real video clips in this video, which were made while raping these young girls, and in this video we will also solve the mystery of Epstein's death, who was behind his death. He died a natural death, so to know all this, watch the video till the end. Jeffrey Epstein presented himself as a wealthy financier. Private jets, private islands, powerful connections. But behind the luxury, prosecutors later said there was a hidden system of exploitation. Young girls, many from vulnerable backgrounds, were allegedly recruited under the promise of money, help, or opportunity. One of the most well-known accusers was Virginia Giuffre. She has publicly stated that as a teenager, she was recruited by Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's close associate, and drawn into a world she says she didn't understand at the time. Virginia later became one of the most vocal survivors, speaking publicly and pursuing legal action. Her words changed everything. But Virginia's allegations were not isolated claims appearing out of nowhere. Court filings over the years revealed patterns, similar descriptions of recruitment, similar locations, similar methods. Prosecutors argued that what appeared on the surface as individual accusations actually formed part of a broader structure that operated for years. Epstein's properties, including his mansion in Manhattan, his estate in Palm Beach, and his private Caribbean island, were repeatedly mentioned in testimonies. These locations, once symbols of luxury and exclusivity, became central points in a criminal investigation that shocked the world. Financial records, flight logs, and witness accounts began painting a picture of a network that extended beyond a single city. The scale of the allegations forced investigators to look deeper, not just at Epstein, but at the systems that allowed him to operate for so long. Another accuser, Annie Farmer, testified in court that she and her younger sister were brought into Epstein's circle in the 1990s. She described uncomfortable encounters and manipulation. For years, many of these allegations remained in the shadows. Some victims said they felt powerless. Some said they were afraid no one would believe them. Others said the wealth and influence surrounding Epstein created a wall of silence. But over time, more voices came forward, and the narrative began to shift. Investigative journalists also played a critical role. Reports revisiting an earlier 2008 plea deal in Florida raised new public scrutiny. That agreement, which allowed Epstein to plead guilty to lesser charges and serve limited jail time, was criticized by many as unusually lenient. Questions surfaced: why was the deal so favorable? Who negotiated it? And why were some victims allegedly not fully informed? Public pressure intensified as media coverage expanded across America and Europe. What once seemed like a closed chapter reopened, this time under a brighter spotlight. Survivors described not just isolated incidents, but grooming tactics. They spoke about being introduced gradually, about trust being built before boundaries were crossed. Experts in exploitation cases later explained how power imbalances and manipulation often make victims doubt themselves. The silence that once protected the powerful began to weaken. In July 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested on federal charges related to sex trafficking of minors. The world watched. Suddenly, the man who once moved freely among elites was sitting inside a jail cell. The case promised explosive revelations, names, connections, secrets. Federal prosecutors described the allegations as part of a long-running scheme. Investigators reportedly seized materials from his properties, including electronic devices and documents. Speculation grew about what those materials might reveal. Would other powerful individuals face charges? Would hidden networks be exposed? The arrest marked a dramatic shift. For years, critics argued that Epstein had avoided serious consequences. Now, it appeared that accountability might finally be within reach. And then, just weeks later, everything changed. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. The official ruling: suicide by hanging. But almost immediately, questions flooded the internet. Why were the security cameras reportedly malfunctioning? Why were guards said to have fallen asleep? Why was he not on suicide watch at that moment? Earlier reports had indicated that Epstein had previously been placed on suicide watch after an incident in jail. Yet at the time of his death, he was no longer under that monitoring status. Authorities maintained there was no evidence of homicide. To this day, no criminal conspiracy has been proven regarding his death. But the timing, the circumstances, and the influence surrounding him continue to fuel debate. For many observers, the unanswered questions became inseparable from the case itself. Whether due to negligence or something more complex, the outcome left survivors without a public trial that might have revealed more details. Now let's talk about what these people did to a girl who got pregnant after being raped to erase the evidence. According to some files, Jeffrey Epstein would burn these girls alive in a fire or remove the organs of living girls, make a curry out of them and eat them. While Epstein's life ended in that jail cell, the story did not. In 2021, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in federal court on charges related to sex trafficking and sentenced to prison. Her trial brought renewed attention to survivor testimonies. Court proceedings included detailed accounts of recruitment methods, travel arrangements, and alleged coordination. Prosecutors argued that Maxwell played an active role in identifying and grooming underage girls. The verdict was seen by many as a form of delayed justice. For some survivors, it validated years of persistence. For others, it was only a partial conclusion, and perhaps the most important voices in this story are not the powerful ones, but the girls who refused to stay silent. Do you believe Jeffrey Epstein's death was simply a tragic failure of the prison system? Or do you think there are still unanswered truths waiting to be uncovered? Let me know your thoughts below. This is Hidden Narrative, where we explore the stories behind the headlines.